want to see a good game. And as I said to both of them, I said, I hope it's a good game and close game and somebody wins it in the fourth quarter. And they said, that's not the answer I wanted to hear. I said, well, that's what I'm looking at and stuff. But I think Georgia Tech played well. I think UCF's first game, I think they're very talented. And I think, speed will be a matchup. And if they take advantage of the speed, I think that it could be an interesting day as far as the score of the game, number one. And just the two key things, eliminate turnovers and penalties. And I think that basically the game will end up being a game that, the people that eliminate those two things will probably end up winning that game.
Well, Coach, you mentioned Georgia Tech's young quarterback, who coincidentally is actually the nephew of Mike Sims Walker, former UCF player. But
Right.
UCF has a pretty good quarterback too. I don't know how much you got to see Dylan Gabriel last year. He's coming in now to his true sophomore season. A lot of high expectations. What do you expect, or what do you want to see from a coaching perspective? What do you want to see Dylan do in year two to kind of take that jump in his maturation process?
Well, I think he did a great job for a freshman. I said I don't know him, but I said that to Josh. I thought for a true freshman, I think he did an outstanding job. He has good arm strength. He has good awareness of coverage. I think the big thing, if I was the offensive line coach, I'd tell him to get rid of the ball quicker. Don't be hanging on to that ball because that's where he got himself in trouble. I thought he hung on to the ball too much instead of getting rid of the ball and taking what the defense gave him and stuff with checkdowns and stuff of that sort. But I think he's a very talented kid who proved he could hurt you with his feet too, and I think he has a bright future too. I think the 1 year playing last year is really going to help this year as far as conference is concerned, and just making the right decisions at the right time.
Now, you're a member of the UCF Hall of Fame. You're being inducted now into the Georgia Tech Hall of Fame. Obviously, we went over the ties you have with both programs. You're going to be in attendance Saturday, like you said. I'm pretty sure you're going to be wearing a gold shirt. Will there be a UCF logo or a Georgia Tech logo on there?
It will be neither. You can book that one. I'll probably just wear a white shirt, just vanilla white and stuff. And I want to see a good game. That's all I care about and stuff. I'm a football fan. I want to see good football. I want to see at least like when I coach, I want to see a lot of penalties, turnovers, and forced turnovers. I enjoy. I don't like sloppy turnovers and stuff. But that, and I hope the weather holds up. And playing up there in Atlanta, not having a full crowd there, I think will be a difference in the game a little bit. But I think the key is going to be who comes out and who can make plays early and getting the ball into the hands of their playmakers early in the game so that people either playing from behind or out in front and control the tempo of the game.
I don't think you're a betting man, but if you were and you had to put some money down on this game, which team would you pick?
Yeah, I'm not falling into that trap. So, I'm not a betting man, so I only bet on four-legged animals. I don't bet on two-legged animals.
All right. Well, you said you're going to be at the game this week, but typically on a Saturday, how do you like to enjoy your game? You like to be just left alone at home? Do you like to have a couple friends over, have a couple drinks? What's your typical Saturday like?
When I'm at home, I put on the big sky, a big screen, and I just watch the game myself. And if I get tired of listening to the announcers, I put it on mute. I just like I'm watching game film. I just enjoy that, analyzing what they're doing offensively and defensively. I could pick up see if I could guess the next play, and from what I look at what they're trying to get accomplished and stuff. But I think that's how I enjoy it. I'm not a big with a bunch of people trying. I can't stand that. They're too busy talking, not paying attention to the game. I'm trying to watch the game, so I don't have anybody over. I'm usually it's my wife and myself, and she's usually downstairs at her TV, and I'm upstairs at the big one watching the games and stuff. And but that's what I enjoy. I'm not. Once in a while, my children will be at the house, and we'll sit and watch the game together and stuff. But I'm not. I'm invited to a bunch of parties all the time, but I don't go to them because I want to watch the game. I don't feel like answering 8,000 questions about what's going on.
Yeah, my wife almost invited some people over this Saturday. I had to change those plans. But I'd prefer to be all alone. I'd prefer her to just go shopping with the kids and leave me for like 3-4 hours to myself.
I enjoy watching the game. I don't need people telling me what they. If I want your opinion, I'll ask for it.
What's your beverage of choice while you're watching the game? You have?
No, I don't. I'm not. I used to drink some beer. If I was drinking, that's normally ginger ale, but once in a while I'll have a scotch.
Coach, I'm going to ask you a question I know is going to drive you crazy as a coach because I know your most important opponent is your next opponent. But you mentioned something earlier about the playoffs. So as we record this tonight, the Big Ten is still up in the air. They don't know if they want to play, if they're going to play. So the Big Ten is out of it. If the Big Ten is not going to be playing this fall, do you think UCF legitimately has a shot at making the college football playoff?
I do. I think they should have a shot. I don't. I think it's very political. The committees as far as who they pick and what they pick. That's why I think not playing that North Carolina game I think hurt, from a standpoint of strength of schedule and stuff of that sort. But I think they got to win every game. To make the playoffs, you got to win the conference and win all the games, and then basically, let the public decide. I don't think that it should be a committee. I think there should be 18 playoffs, not 4, and basically get more teams involved in the playoff because there's not much difference between the 4th, 5th, and 6th teams. They really aren't. Between 1 and 2, I think is obvious, but after that, I think, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that could be in a playoff and pretty much the same personnel and same type coaching staffs.
I know you keep up closely with some of your ex-players. You had to be thrilled to see Bruce Miller back in the NFL now again with the Jaguars, right?
Yeah, I was happy to see him up there and stuff. I've spoken to Bruce, and I'm happy, from what he played well Sunday against the Colts and stuff. So I was happy for that because, Doug Marrone is up there who used to work for me. And, in fact, I recruited Doug out of high school to Syracuse, and then he worked for me at Georgia Tech. So I'm very familiar with what's going on up there. And, Latavius looked good the other day. So I'm happy for that. The players that make it, the key that I looked at is they all had their degree, which was important to me.
Coach, I can't let you go before asking this. The Yankees, it look like they're getting a little hot now. We've won 5 in a row, 15 runs on the board already through 4 innings tonight. Stanton's back in the lineup. What do you think? We're going to the series or what?
I think they'll get to the playoffs and stuff. What bothers me is they're all these soft tissue injuries. They need to do more running or something. I've never seen so many guys hurt in my life as far as injuries and not playing and stuff and the off-season programs. But it's happening too often now as far as I can see broken bones and what, but with all these hamstrings and groins and stuff, that's somewhat conditioning as far as what's going on there, in my opinion. And, there's too many games lost that they're getting paid too much not to play.
How do you like this kind of different rule changes in baseball, the 7-inning doubleheaders? Have you liked some of these changes?
I think that's a good idea. I like the 7-inning doubleheaders. I think that's good and stuff. But I think the Yankees will rise to the occasion. I really do. I think they're not getting the pitching they should have been getting, I think. And some of those guys coming back are going to help us. They lost a lot of power when they put those, Stanton and Judge out. Torres was out for a while, and LeMahieu was out for a while. So, I mean, they're all coming back. And, when they're all on the field, it's a formidable team and, a team that's tough. And that's who they were early in the season. And they had a stretch where they lose 8 out of 10 or something like that. It was a tough row. But I thought they're pros. They handle it well.
Well, Coach, I know you're definitely busy. I know you got a lot going on this week with Georgia Tech and UCF matching up for the first time in 20 years now. So we appreciate you taking some time to chat with us and stroll down memory lane. And hopefully you enjoy the game this weekend. And hopefully the good guys will come out on top. I guess I'll let you decide who the good guys are, but hopefully the good guys come out on top, Coach. But we appreciate you for taking some time.
Well, I appreciate calling. Anything I do to help you guys, I think you're doing a great job for UCF and keeping the knowledge out there and keeping the fans busy.
Thanks, Coach. Stay safe, okay?
Stay safe yourselves. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Coach.
Mike versus everybody.
It is time. Mike versus everybody. If you know Mike, he likes to put a little action on things. He likes to spice things up a little bit. And so what spicier thing you can do with college football, and American Conference college football, by the way, is to put a little friendly wager on it. So Mike is doing weekly picks. We're doing the pool or poll tracker. I don't know what we call it anymore these days, Mike. So maybe update us on that, and let's see what you got in store for the pick segment.
Yeah, it's pool tracker, and if you guys want to join, there's still time to jump in. There's still guys in there that have not won a game. Most people went 0-3 to week 1. Even this week, there were only 2 games to pick from. So you would not be far behind if you decided to jump in. It's pooltracker.com. The name of the pool group is Sons of UCF Pick'em, and the password is Shackit2020. We have a good number of people in there right now. I finally won my first game in that pool this past week. I had South Alabama covering against Tulane. That was good. I also had them in my picks on the show last week, which I went 2-1 on. So I'm off to a good start for the season. I won the Georgia Tech game. They were getting points against FSU. Won that one. They won outright. South Alabama covered against Tulane. I believe they were getting 9. They kept that close the whole way. And the one game I lost, which I also lost in the pool, was the Cows, giving up 17 points to Citadel. That was actually a close game. I was keeping my eye on that game. I was flipping back and forth between that and the Georgia Tech game last week. Citadel was hanging in there, and they just couldn't get enough points on the board in the second half. The Cows won by about 20. Did you see that touchdown the Cows got, though? The punter on Citadel?
Yeah, I think everyone saw that. That was all over the internet. That poor kid. I don't even know.
He blocked it himself.
Actually, I saw somebody tagged Mac Loudermilk and said, "What would you do?" And Mac just wrote back and said, "Just eat the 2 points, dude. Just fall on the thing, eat the 2 points, and get out of there."
He kicked it and blocked it with his own hand. Landed right in the Cows' lap for a touchdown in the end zone. And that's how they covered the 17 points. If not for that play, they probably don't cover. So anyway, I go 2-1 last week to kick off the season. Not bad. Not a bad start. So we're ready to kick off this week?
Any idea how
music last week? Should we hit the music?
Oh my God, I gotta do that again. Any idea how I did? I didn't check.
No, I didn't check yours either. There was only 2 games. So did you have the Cows and did you have South Alabama Tulane?
Yeah, if I knew that, obviously, I wouldn't have asked you how I did. I completely forgot how that works. Okay, well, I will check in on that as well. So what do you got? So this is the first, obviously, UCF game week. So what do you have? What are your 3? Are you picking 3 this week?
Yeah, I got 3 games this week.
Who we got?
3 winners. All right, hit the music, baby.
Boom.
Game number 1, SMU giving up 2 touchdowns, 14-point favorite at North Texas. Now remember week 1, the Ponies snuck past Texas State, winning 31-24. They were big favorites in that game too. And there's an old saying in Texas, maybe it's Tennessee, I think it's Texas, whereas fool me once.
Have you been to Texas that often, Mike?
You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, can't get fooled again, right?
Yeah, yes, that one.
Well, I'm not getting fooled again. I'm going with the Mean Green with North Texas. They put up 57 points in the opener against Houston Baptist. They're going to be at home. I guess they put up some points. So 14 points is a lot. North Texas was 4-2 at home last year. I'm going to take them to cover the 14 points against SMU. Hopefully SMU still is able to pull out the win for the American sake. But give me those points, baby. 14 points is too much.
Okay. You can have them. They're yours.
All right. Game number 2. The Cows coming off their big win against Citadel in week 1 last week. They are 25-point underdogs in South Bend against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. People may not know this, or people may have forgotten this, but back in 2011, the Cows went into South Bend and beat, I believe, number 16 ranked Notre Dame at the time. They started that year 4-0.
What's gotten into you? Are you okay? What's going on right now?
Typical Cow fashion.
Oh, okay, here it is.
They went on to lose 7 of the last 8 games and finish that season 5-7. Now the Golden Domers, they didn't look too dominant, too impressive last week against Duke, but this whole offseason has been crazy. They had a chance now to knock some rust off, and I'm expecting a big improvement for this week. I think Notre Dame rolls over the cows, something to the tune of like 41-10, and the cows get put back in the barn for the rest of the season.